Hey everyone, it's Johnny, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel, and today we have some exciting things to be talking about in the world of home fragrance. We're going to be talking about a bunch of wax today, in particular vendor wax melts, but there's something a little bit special about this video, unlike some of the other ones that I've done. The waxes that we're going to be sniffing through and talking about today were given as a gift by one of my YouTube subscribers and watchers. So if you are watching this, Ms. Amaris, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I'm super excited. My nose is like raring to smell these and see what they all smell like. And I wanted to share them with everyone on my channel, so in case there was something that you may have tried or have not tried and sounds interesting, you might be turned on to some of these vendors, because I have never actually heard of any of these vendors before, and I'm always excited to try new fragrances. I mean, I'm a waxaholic, I'm a home fragrance connoisseur, if you will. So for me, you know, it doesn't really matter who makes it. If it's a good quality melt, or it performs well, or I love the fragrance notes, who cares, right? So I have quite a few. I was shocked, honestly, by the size of the parcel that arrived. So I think we'll have to break this into two parts, just so that the video doesn't get too long, because I'm already, as you can see, long-winded on this video with excitement. But I wanted to make sure I cover all of these and give some first impressions, and then hopefully as I get a chance to worm them in the coming probably couple months, there's definitely gonna be plenty of wax to be worming. I will be giving some feedback on the reviews post-worming as well. So for this video, I think, or this part of the video, I think we're going to focus on this particular one brand that looks like we have quite a few different samples to sniff through. And I also, she was kind enough to give me a little bit of information based on the vendors, so I have a little bit of an idea that I can share with you. So the one that we're going to be focusing on first is from a company called Closetful of Wax, and it looks like their website is closetfulofwax.com, and it looks like that they serve bars of wax as well as plenty of different sample size things to try. I'm not sure, I haven't actually checked any of these websites yet in terms of their offerings and sizes of wax. But I am very intrigued to try all of these different ones. And she made a very good note on here that the Hulk bar right here was the one that really got her hooked on this particular company. So we will definitely have to smell this out. And apparently this one is kind of like a laundry scent of sorts. So I am curious. And there are, she gives some extra notes on here as well on some of her preferences and feedback on some of these. So we're going to go ahead and dive in and just smell them and see what we think, or my schnoz thinks about them. And if any of them sound interesting, or if you've tried this company, please let me know in the comments. I'm always curious to know. But I'm excited, and it's all so colorful. All right, so I feel like we should start with the Hulk, because this is the one that got her hooked on this particular vendor. So let's dive in. So this is described, it has scent notes of avobath, gain, and blackberries. So I'm guessing it's going to be fruity meets laundry, kind of like maybe a black raspberry vanilla vibe going on one point of it. But then gain makes me think like straight up laundry detergent. So what do we think? Let's find out. Survey says, ooh, that is strong. Ooh, I barely like opened the little bag it came in, and wow, that was a whiff of berries. So you definitely get the blackberry component to that. Oh my goodness. So I'm trying to remember what gain smells like. And I also don't want to break this bar. It's so nicely put in here. All right, so we have, so I do get like the berry, the blackberry note, the fruity, tart dark berry note. I don't know if I remember what Gain smells like, but if it's like the laundry detergent-esque smell as most detergents are, I do get a laundry vibe to this. But I feel like there's a sort of mellowed note to it. And that could be the Avo bath, which I'm not sure what an Avo bath is. Is that like a soak or something? Or like a bubble bath? With avocados in it, maybe? I would guess, based on the name, but I could be far off. But it gives me like a creaminess, not like a vanilla, but it gives me sort of like a something that kind of ties it together and mellows out the tartness of the berries and makes the laundry component to this not so in your face. It gives me, they're not the same, but it gives me kind of like how Light Side of the Force from our Star Wars collection is like a quasi fresh, slightly laundry-esque sort of scent, but it's not really a laundry scent. It kind of gives me that sort of vibe where it's like something else, but it gives me laundry vibes. Yeah, it's like the berries in this are like just, it almost, because of how it mixes, it almost gives me like a plum vibe to this, which I really enjoy. At least on cold, it smells quite interesting. Oh my goodness, I'm excited to try this. Maybe that'll be like one of the first ones I warm in this particular vendor collection, so I can see the magic of the Hulk. Hulk smash. Oh, you know what? I don't have a Hulk Scentsy buddy. I never picked one of those up. Maybe that's something I'll have to see if I can hunt down. All right, next we have Merci beaucoup. This one is Sugared Violets, Sweet on Paris, and Pink Amber Vanilla. I was like, sweet on, like sweet pea, Sweet on Paris, and Pink Amber Vanilla. So this is going to be a light, I'm gonna guess, sweet floral with like a perfumey note. I'm guessing that's what we're gonna get out of this. Let's see if I'm right. Ooh. Oh, it's definitely sweet. All right, so it almost smells on, ooh, cool, it came out a little part there. Sweet on Paris. It kind of gives me sweet pea vibes. I wonder if Sweet on Paris is like, I feel like there's a sweet pea note in this. I do get a sugared note. I get vanilla for sure. I'm not sure if I know what pink amber smells like versus like regular amber or dark amber. But I do get a little bit of that richness that an amber scent might give. I still think there's like a sweet pea something going on in here. What is Sweet on Paris? It's almost a very candied floral. I don't know that I get a whole lot of violets. If there are some in here, it's a softer, it's being muted a bit by the sweetness of this. It kind of reminds me of, I want to say it's Sweet Pea and Vanilla from Scentsy. But there's like a juicierness to this. Like it's gotta be the amber. There's like a definite more perfume note to this. It's more multi-dimensional than the Scentsy scent that it kind of reminds me of. Ooh. I swear there's a sweet pea note in this. I must be going crazy, but I don't know if it's maybe just because of the color of the wax itself, but I feel like there's got to be some sort of like sweet pea note to it. I don't know. What do we think, right? Let's see. She mentions it reminds her of when she visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris. It's a softer but beautiful scent. Well, I can definitely see it being this beautiful scent. I could see it maybe being softer. I hope it's a little bit softer because I think if this were a strong powerhouse performer, it might be like too cloyingly sweet, but you never know. We'll never know until we warm them. That's the true test. All right, and then this next bar in full size from this brand is called Backwoods Barbie. I love it. Sold me with the name. So this is pink petal tea cakes, vanilla woods, and Palo Santos. Okay, so I like Palo Santo, so that's great. Vanilla woods works great with me. Pink petal tea cakes, that's gonna be the make or break with this one for me. We'll see how I feel about that, or at least in this particular bar. Oh, I've definitely smelled the Palo Santo. That's like the first thing I smell. Okay. Ooh. I do get like the vanilla note to this. There's definitely a slight sweet floral going on in the background, but it's not overwhelming. It meshes well with the Palo Santo component of this. It just adds a little bit more sweetness to the otherwise woodsy, kind of almost smoky vibe. And I think it meshes well with the vanilla woods component. I think that just kind of further rounds out and balances those two opposites, because I think if you put like pink petal tea cake with Palo Santo on their own, that might be a little bit bizarre, but in this combination, yeah, I think the vanilla kind of helps marry the scent together, the vanilla woods, and gives it a little bit more grounding as well. That's really nice. I wasn't expecting that, because I know that Scentsy had like a pink petal tea cake sort of kind of smell thing going on, and I was just like, I don't know how I feel about this. But this I could get behind. So, not bad, Backwoods Barbie. Not bad at all. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see what we else have. We have in this giant amount of exciting samples. All right, let's fix this one. This one looks interesting. This is called Sardine Oil and has a picture of a tiger. And the description is cherry vanilla, creamsicle, pineapple upside down cake. All right, let's see what we got here. This is gonna be like fruity sweet, I'm guessing. Whoa, that is like knock your socks off. Okay, I get pineapple right out the gate, and I also get cherry vanilla right out the gate. Whew. That's surprising for this little, like, square cuboid. This is like maybe 2 cubes of Scentsy wax. Wow. I get the creamsicle vibe, too. Holy moly. So I definitely smell cherry vanilla. I definitely get a creamsicle note. I definitely get the pineapple. And there's a little bit of like a cakey vibe to it. Like if you smell like fresh baked cake without frosting. I do get a little bit of that vibe there. It's more of a background note to the cherry vanilla and the creamsicle parts. And it's interesting because I'm not really like a bakery gourmand sort of scent person, but this one I actually really enjoy. It reminds me a little bit of like a more cherry vanilla version of Cutie Pie Cupcake that we had from a Bring Back My Bar. Like that one to me smells like a lemon tangerine cupcake. Oh, I feel like I even get a little bit of like an icing note from like the pineapple upside down the more I'm smelling this. Ooh, that's really good. It also kind of reminds me of, what is it, those Starburst Twizzlers that are filled? That, like, I eat one of them and, like, then end up eating the entire bag because they just taste like Starburst, but in Twizzler form, which is dangerous. Kind of reminds me slightly of those two, which is a good thing. I'm curious to see how that one's going to perform when it is warmed. All right, next we have Grumpy Bear, which it's from the Care Bears. This one is described as blue sugar, spearmint, and barbershop 1920s. All right. So sweet, minty shave cream. Let's find out. Oh, that's interesting. It smells like toothpaste. It smells like sweet spearmint toothpaste. Or mouthwash. Like Scope mouthwash or something like that. Or maybe like Crest Pro Health, like the blue one. No, it's more like Scope, like the spearmint Scope. I like how I'm going specific with like the mouthwashes, not just like generic mouthwash. Specifically, Scope, the green one. Yeah, this one smells to me kind of like a mouthwash or a toothpaste. It's just like a fresh scent. This would be a great bathroom scent, I feel like. It also vaguely reminds me of oh, I always get them mixed up. Slay All Day, I think is what it was from our fall winter catalog. It's one of the, there's like 3 like light blue ones that all have like similar plays on the holiday scents, and I always confuse them. I think it's Slay All Day. It could be a different one, but one of those ones, it kind of reminds me of that too. It's like that kind of fresh spearminty, sweet note. I don't know if I get barbershop from this, but unless like it's like shave cream, which could just be a sort of like enhancer of the mint scent and kind of gives a little bit more depth. It smells good. I don't have anything wrong with it, but I will definitely have to consider maybe warming this when I'm in the mood for like a spearmint fresh sort of scent. I like that though. That's funny that they considered like spearmint sugar like as a grumpy bear sort of like name. All right, next we have Morning Wood with a lovely play on the sticker, which I think is hilarious personally. And this is Coffee House, Banana Bread, and Bonfire. All right, so let's see what our Morning Wood smells like. Oh, goodness. Oh, all right. I'm not mad about this at all. Okay, so you do get the coffee scent. And you do get banana bread. I feel like it's on that still, it's like quasi-artificial banana bread sort of smell. But I feel like banana bread is a very hard thing to do well. Like even Scentsy's banana bread or whatever, banana nut bread, it's just not a vibe for me. But then you get like a smoky note to this. So like you get your coffee vibe, but there's also that like smoky bonfire, slightly woodsy note to this. And it actually kind of mutes the banana's artificial sort of scent note. It kind of makes the banana feel more authentic. This is definitely a coffee house vibe though. So I think for this one, it's definitely more on the coffee sort of note of things, and then the other scent notes kind of like enhance it. That's pretty good, and I've been still hunting for a good like coffee scent, so maybe this will be a potential candidate for me. All right, next we have the Witching Hour, which is described as witch's brew, elderberry, and smoked vanilla. All right, so I do like vanilla. Smoked vanilla probably smells good. Elderberry, I used to love eating elderberry gummies because, you know, why not? Ooh, this kind of reminds me, what does this remind me of? Oh man, there's like, come here, Cube, let me smell you. Oh my goodness. I do get elderberry out of this. Very much so. I do get a smoky note. I don't know if I specifically grabbed the vanilla pull out of this. Maybe like a creaminess is added, but I get like the smoky portion of that scent note more. And then Witch's Brew, to me, I don't know what they define Witch's Brew as. but I envision it as like spices, but also like a sort of fruity note. And I'm definitely kind of getting that. It has that kind of like slightly herbal spice sort of note to it. But then you have the elderberry, which is like a berry, a deep red, purple berry, I guess. And then you get like the smoked vanilla. I don't really get, again, the vanilla component to it. I think that just kind of gives it more of a creaminess overall. But I do get like a smoky vibe to it. That's interesting. Oh man. I don't know how I feel about that one. I don't dislike it, but I'm curious to know how it's going to evolve as it warms in the warmers. So that will be a definite test. All right, next we have their version of Stitch from Disney with very different scent notes from our like pineapple, sea breeze, ocean version that Scentsy has. This one is described as lavender, strawberry, ginger ale. What? Holy bananas, it smells like ginger ale. Oh my goodness. Oh, that just brought me back. So I grew up in Michigan, and a lot of people are familiar with like Canada Dry ginger ale or whatever. And in Michigan, we have Verner's ginger ale, and that was what my family bought, and so my dad like swore by. We never were a Canada Dry person, and I miss that. Probably it's one of the big things I miss from Michigan is like legit Verner's ginger ale. And this is like bringing me back. Oh man, this is so good. Oh, I might... That's dangerous. Now, interestingly, I do get a little sweetness from the strawberry, but I wouldn't say it like inherently it's like strawberries. I don't know if I pick up a whole bunch of lavender. If anything, I'm guessing it's going to be more of an herbal lavender rather than a floral lavender in order to enhance the ginger spice sort of note from the ginger ale. But I'm getting like a very much ginger ale with like a sweet, kind of aquatic juiciness to it. Oh, that's good. That's surprising. I don't think I expected that at all, but that might be, I may have to stock up on that so that I can like enjoy a ginger ale smell without all the carbs and sugar. I mean, well, sugar is the carb. Carbs and sugar. It's the same thing. Anyways, that smells good. That's the point of this. All right, next we have refreshing pear. Oh, I do like pears. So this is Mount Dew. I wonder if that's like short for Mountain Dew. Sweet, juicy pears and maraschino cherry. Interesting. Let's see. Bum-ba-da-dum. Oh, I get a lot of the maraschino cherry. I wonder. Maybe Mountain Dew, MT Dew is like short for Mountain Dew, honestly. Because this smells more like a... Oh, it's like a little money sign. I just realized that. This smells like Mountain Dew with maraschino cherries added in. Like, I don't feel like this is an authentic sort of pear scent. Refreshing pear. It's definitely more of like a Mountain Dew sort of like soft drink vibe. It's not bad, but if you were looking for this like as a legitimate, like, I want refreshing pear, this would probably not be, at least to my nose, what I would reach for. Like, I get the Mountain Dew vibe. I have wax all over my nose from putting my sniffer on all of these. But I get the Mountain Dew vibe. I do get the maraschino cherry. Like, it stands out for me. Almost both of those scents combined kind of overwhelm the sweet, juicy pear note that is supposed to be in here. So I don't know how I feel about this one. I think if this were supposed to be like marketed as like cherry Mountain Dew, I would be like, totally. But I don't see that. I think the cherry is just too strong in this blend, personally. Again, it may change when I'm warming it. You may not even smell the cherry when you're warming. So I'll have to warm this and let you know. But that was my first sort of thought about that. All right, next we have oud, turmeric, and saffron. This just sounds delightful. I really hope, it even kind of looks the color of saffron and turmeric. I really hope it smells nice and woodsy. Ugh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So it has the nice woodsy note to it. It has that sort of like, oh, this reminds me of like when you go to like a Middle Eastern market and you smell like that mix of spices. Not like necessarily an Indian market, but like a Middle Eastern. So maybe like an Arabic market or a Persian market or something, where it's maybe not so curry heavy that you might find in, say, an Indian market. Oh, it almost smells like there's like rose water in here. Oh, it smells so good. Like you get the oud, you get the saffron, which it's like saffron flower. I don't know if turmeric really has a huge, strong smell personally, to my knowledge, but I do feel like there's like a rose water component to this too. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, well this one is definitely a winner, at least on cold. Like this wins like good gold star awards. So highly recommend if you want that sort of like Middle Eastern vibes, spices. Oh, that was so good. All right, next we have Golden Girls, anyone? Dorothy. I didn't know Dorothy had her own signature smell. So Dorothy smells like sugared lemons, Danish butter cookies, and blackberry jam. Very gourmand, I can tell. Gourmand lemony. So we'll see what this smells like. This might be a little bit much for me. Actually, hold up. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of... This kind of reminds me of Scentsy's... There's probably wax all over my nose. I don't really get Danish butter cookies from this, but I do pick up on the blackberry jam. And I do pick up on the sugared lemon. This is giving me some serious Be Fabulous vibes, even though that the scent notes are completely different. Or like our Monsters, Inc. Monstropolis scent from Scentsy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe, I'm trying to remember, maybe it's the Phineas and Ferb Best Day Ever bar. No. No, this definitely reminds me of like a more like blackberry version of Be Fabulous or the Monsters Inc. scent. But oh man, is this good. Okay, so I like Dorothy. Dorothy smells divine. And of course a Golden Girl would smell divine. She's got everything on point. All right. Here we go. Next one we have is Country Apple. This is a Bath and Body Works type with sweet, juicy pear. Oh, I've actually tried a hand cream body lotion, one of those in Country Apple. So I have an idea what this is going to smell like. I think it's like a green apple. Yeah, this is like the green apple, sweet green apple and pear. And there's like a floral note in it in their body care or whatever. And it smells pretty close to that. This almost smells a little bit more like a Jolly Rancher green apple than necessarily like a crisp tart green apple. But it's a similar vibe. Like if you liked the Bath and Body Works Country Apple scent, you'd probably enjoy this. I do think this is a little bit more of a candied note to it though, overall, but it's pretty close. So I do enjoy that one. Perhaps not my favorite of the bunch so far, but it's actually still very nice to smell. So far, all of these are just like rocking it. There's only like one that I was a little bit like, and I think that was just because it wasn't what I expected. So, all right, next we have Welcome to Schitt's Creek. Oh my gosh, that's great. There's like all these pop TV references. All right, so this one is described as Autumn Lodge, Cashmere Cedar, or is that Cashmere, then Cedar, and then Marshmallow Fireside. Either way, we're gonna find out. So, let's smell this. Does this smell like a woodsy fireside? It does. It does indeed, which is surprising because it's like this light green. Ooh, I do get the marshmallow fireside note. It's that sweet, smoky marshmallow, but it's not caramel, like super caramelized toasted marshmallow. It's the sweet, smoky marshmallow before it gets all gross and caramely. I do get a hint of cedar in this. And I do get like that soft coziness that cashmere tends to lend to scents. I don't know that I specifically get Autumn Lodge as a scent though. I think like the cedar cashmere blend gives me like a nod to like almost a Palo Santo sort of scent. Not quite as like incensey and spice driven as a Palo Santo might be. It's more cozy, and then like the marshmallow fireside obviously sweetens it a bit. It's kind of like if Bonfire Beach had a little bit more cedar note in it and like a hint of cozy cardigan, minus the rose. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I do like this scent. I mean, I'm kind of a sucker for marshmallow scents, which is weird because then I'm like, oh, all these like bakery scents are too sweet for me, but I like marshmallow. I don't know how that works, but I do really like this one. And funny story is I've only seen a handful of episodes of this show, but everyone raves about it. So maybe I should add that to my list now that I have a wax that I can melt whilst I am watching it. And speaking of Welcome to Schitt's Creek, then we have Schitt's Motel, which is lavender cotton blossom, peppermint, and pink amber vanilla. Now there's that pink amber vanilla again. Okay, so we have peppermint, so this is going to be minty. Lavender cotton blossom, so I'm guessing this is like a minty lavender laundry scent. Let's see how close we are. Well, there's definitely the peppermint. Yeah, it's almost... The peppermint kind of takes the front and center here. It's almost like an icy peppermint. It kind of gives me... If you've tried our NFL licensed wax bar, like Fresh Ice or whatever it's called, it has like a really icy mint note that's almost like, it almost emulates like how cold would sting your nose in an ice rink. This is like a peppermint that's leaning towards that sort of like iciness without going quite that far. I don't really get... I guess I get a little bit of like a creamy note to this. But it's hard to tell if it's like the amber vanilla sort of note or it's like the cotton blossom. So it says lavender cotton blossom, so not necessarily lavender cotton. So it's less on a laundry note and more on like the minty, slightly floral vanilla. I really like it. It's almost like a vanilla mint in some ways, but more on the peppermint note. Maybe that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's a little bit like our vanilla mint in the sense that there is a vanilla note in this, but our vanilla mint was more like a buttermint or something like that, and this is definitely an icy peppermint. But it's a really nice scent. So now I have two, so I can watch at least 2 episodes or 2 days worth of shows from that web series and combine them together with it. All right, then we have the Rosebud Motel. This is peppermint, rosemary mint, vanilla bean, buttercream, vanilla bean buttercream, that's all one thing, and a splash of pink sugar. Oh man, there's a lot in here. So we have like a peppermint and a rosemary mint. So we have mint, and then we have creamy buttercream, like vanilla cream, buttercream, and like pink sugar. So sweet mint. That's not what I expected. Well, that's the rosemary I'm picking up. That's what it is. You definitely pick up the rosemary and the mint. Well, both mints. The peppermint gives it like an iciness. The rosemary mint gives it like an herbaceous quality. I don't know if I get a whole lot of vanilla bean buttercream right out the door. I think there's a buttery note to this, like a vanilla bean buttercream note in there. But it's definitely secondary to the double mint. So I wouldn't call this like a vanilla mint scent. I would call this a mint scent with vanilla. Slightly herbaceous. And I don't know if I get any pink sugar specifically. But maybe it's just there to like sweeten it up and give it a little bit less pungency because it's like an herbal mint scent first and foremost. Yeah, I pick up the rosemary. It almost gives me a little bit of like a fancy, like one of those like mint menthol sort of like cooling head shampoos that you can get. They're usually like in the men's care lines where it's like the American Crew where it's like mint or something like that, peppermint, and it makes your head tingle and feel all cold. It kind of gives me a little bit of that vibe with like the herbaceousness of it all. But it's nice. I do like it. And again, I'm a mint person and a marshmallow person, strangely enough, even though I'm like not usually a bakery person. All right, next we have Cloud Juice, and this is described as pink marshmallow champagne. Oh wait, pink marshmallow champagne, marshmallow clouds, and clean air. So we have marshmallow booze and marshmallow like whipped, I'm guessing, and then an ozone sort of note. Let's find out. Ooh, this smells like... The first thing I think of is pink lemonade. It's citrusy, so there's definitely a citrus note to this. Probably from the champagne. But it's muted by like a whipped sort of airy quality, which I'm guessing is like the marshmallow clouds. And then there's like a fresh note, which is, I'm assuming, the clean air. It's kind of making my mouth water a little bit inside, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty good. I wouldn't say... Interestingly enough, for having two notes of marshmallows, I wouldn't say that this smells to me like a marshmallow scent. It definitely gives more of like the light champagne, fresh sort of vibes, slightly citrusy, and like a sweet whippedness that might be part of the marshmallow, but I wouldn't necessarily be like, this is a marshmallow scent. It's in fact, it's two marshmallows. I think that it's not, if you're worried that this is going to be like a crazy marshmallow scent, I don't really get marshmallow as like the main big thing. I think it's like an enhancement to just kind of mellow or round out the other scent notes. But it's nice. All right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more from this particular vendor. And then I think we will end here and do part 2 for the other portion, because there was quite a few in here and I want to make sure I give each of them their time. So this next one's called Magical Autumn Apple Tree, and this is leaves, French vanilla, and oak. Red Delicious apples, and Granny Smith apples. So we have 2 types of apples, a vanilla, a woodsy note, and some leaves. Let's find out what this smells like. Magical Autumn Apple Tree. Okay, okay. So this is going to be similar to okay, so this reminds me of like fresh autumn or autumn air from Sensationals. A little bit more vanilla than that because there's a vanilla note in this one and there's not in that one. Or like Autumn Road Trip from Scentsy, where you've got like that fresh apples, outside air sort of vibe. It almost gives me a slight nod to something like Johnny Appleseed, but with like a vanilla note to it. Like if you gave a little bit more depth to Johnny Appleseed aside from just the apples component to it, an apples and pear note. Like if you added a vanilla and then you added some like fresh leaves or fresh autumn air to it, that's what I'm getting out of this. I don't really get a whole lot of like woodsy notes. Like the oak tend to be a very heavy wood scent in my experience. And I get like a slight nod to it in the background, but it's not inherently like oak. Like that's not the prominent scent there. So I like it. I approve. I think it's definitely like an autumn apple tree, autumn road trip sort of situation. I think it works quite nicely. All right, next we have back in St. Olaf. Oh, look, it's Betty White. We're back to the Golden Girls again. All right, so we have grapefruit mangosteen, milkshake, and Bartlett pears. I had to make sure I was reading that right. Grapefruit, mangosteen, milkshake, and Bartlett pears. So citrusy, juicy, creamy? Oh, yeah. This is, this kind of reminds me, weirdly enough, bear with me because it's not in the scent notes. This kind of reminds me of Scentsy's Apricot Vanilla Wax Bar. Even though the scent notes are completely different, like, because that's supposed to be like apricot and peach and like vanilla ice cream, I think. And this one is grapefruit mangosteen, which is probably giving me like the apricot vibe or the apricot peach vibe. And then milkshake, which is giving me like the creamy vanilla component. And Bartlett pear just makes it a little bit juicier and more mouth-watering. Ooh, this one's really good. If for whatever reason I don't have apricot vanilla in my life from Scentsy, this may be like a substitute for it, even though it's not apricot and not peach. Thank goodness. But ooh, this is so good. I have to smell it again one more time. Yeah, that reminds me almost to a T of Scentsy's Apricot Vanilla. I don't know how that works, but I love this one. All right. Next we have Murder for Hire. He looks very grumpy on there. This is Blackberry Barbershop and Palo Santo. So, men's woodsy shaving cream and berry. All right, so I get the Palo Santo first, and then I get the blackberry note in second. And I don't know if I get shaving cream. I get like a slight cologne note, which I'm guessing is this barbershop thing that they're describing as a scent. It's definitely Palo Santo meets blackberry. And then maybe like a slightly cologne undertone to it. I mean, if this was a cologne, I would wear it. Hands down. Ooh, that's so nice. I approve of that. I will be very curious to see how that one worms. All right, next we have 3 more in this collection, and then we'll take a pause and go and do the second part of this in another video. So we have Bride of Frankenstein, which is, I love the little graphics. These graphics are great. I hope you can see these. Pistachio ice cream, key lime, and marshmallow cream. Well, I like pistachio ice cream and marshmallow cream, so, and I like limes too, so. Oh, that is an interesting combination. It kind of reminds me of, what does it remind me of? So I definitely get the key lime. That like stands out to me. I think the first thing I smell is the key lime, followed by the pistachio ice cream. And it's very similar pistachio ice cream note to Scentsy's, if Scentsy's didn't have the key lime in there. As far as the marshmallow cream, I don't know if I directly smell a marshmallow cream note, but I would guess that it's just adding to the fluffy lightness of the pistachio ice cream note to this and keeping it lighter rather than super pungent, because key lime can get really in your face real fast. I love key lime tarts. Oh, they're so good. Anyways, I really like this. This isn't bad. I'll be curious to see when it warms how strong the key lime note is going to be relative to the creaminess of the rest of it. But on cold, I dig it. All right, we have 2 more. We have Love That Journey for Me, which is pink berry and tonka bean, cocoa butter, cashmere, and vanilla lace. I don't know what the pictures are all supposed to represent, but I love it. All right, so pink berry and tonka bean. So tonka bean has like a vanilla note. It also has like a sweet, almost berry note to it as well, to an extent, like a cherry sort of undertone. Cocoa butter, cashmere, that's going to be like a rich, creamy note, slightly chocolatey hint to it, and then a vanilla lace. So let's see what we got going on here. Oh, it's lighter than I expected. It's almost... It almost kind of gives me a little bit of like a strawberry taffy vibe. Like the red Airheads. Or just like Airheads in general candy. Or like the white Airhead maybe. It gives me that kind of like Airhead sort of sweetness. I do get the cocoa butter. No, I do smell that. I do get the sweetness of whatever pink berry that they're going for. The tonka bean kind of enhances the berry note. I don't know if I get vanilla lace. I do get a vanilla note, but I don't know if I could specifically be like a vanilla lace, so that's like a lighter vanilla. And I don't know if I pick up cashmere. I think if it's cocoa butter cashmere is the thing versus cocoa butter and cashmere, then maybe I see that. But cocoa butter would be the more obvious scent that I smell. Cashmere maybe just to give it a slight coziness to it. It's a nice scent. I don't think it's what I was expecting. But I don't mind it by any means. It's definitely a sweeter... Oh man, there must be wax all over my face. There's definitely a sweeter note to this, but still don't have any issues with it. And our last one that we have here from this particular brand is called AC Slater. It's like a machismo picture there. And we have blackberries, barbershop 1920s, and toasted marshmallow. So marshmallow, slightly cologne vibe, and again, the blackberry note. Let's see how we feel about this. So this is similar to Murder for Hire, which was blackberries, barbershop, and Palo Santo. This one is blackberries, marshmallow, and I'm sorry, blackberries, barbershop, and toasted marshmallow. And I'm getting very similar vibes. Like, you do pick up the blackberry note. You do pick up the barbershop sort of cologne undertone. But I don't know if I get toasted marshmallow out of this. It's almost like the other one, maybe with a slight sweetness to it, like a sweeter creaminess. I don't know, I'm struggling on cold to smell the marshmallow component to this, but I do get the blackberries and I do get that like cologne barbershop vibe note. So that will be interesting to see how it compares. And I might even try to do like a side-by-side, like one room warm this and one room warm Murder for Hire, and compare and see how they actually vary in actual performance rather than just scents, where they kind of smell similar in the bags themselves. So, all right. So we're going to, because we have quite a few more to go through. I'm so excited, but I have a feeling that this took quite some time. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here and pick up in part 2 with the rest of the wonderful goodies that we're going to smell through. So for those of you who forgot the name of the wax that we were smelling in this particular segment, it's from a company called Closetful of Wax, and it looks like the website is closetfulofwax.com. So let me know if you've ever tried or heard of this brand of vendor wax, and what your experience or sense might be from it as well, if you have. And I am looking forward. I think I might have to start with the Hulk, though, because if that's the one that got you hooked, you know, I might have to start with the Hulk and see how that one goes. So, as always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you're new here. And once again, I want to give a huge thank you to my YouTube subscriber, Amaris. Thank you so much for sending me all of these, and I'm excited to share the rest of the goodies with all of you in part 2. So stay tuned for that. All right, I will see you in that video. And with that, take care, guys. Bye.